Hi, Samantha. Hello. Hi, Samantha. Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Samantha Uncut, where I discuss celebrity news, hot topics, reality TV, and so much more. All commentary is alleged and, in my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Hey, everyone, I hope you all are having an amazing morning, evening, or afternoon, wherever you are. This is Samantha Uncut, and we are back with another Beyond the Gates review or recap. We're on episode 13, but before we get into that, please remember to always like, comment, and share this video so that it reaches more audience. And if you would like to follow me on my other social media platform, you can follow me on TikTok at Samantha.uncut and on Instagram at Samantha Uncut. All information will be listed in the description bar as usual. So let's get into this recap. So in episode 13, we have Andre, who is being a little bit of a weirdo. So Andre shows up to the hospital and he is being weird by taking photos of Ashley from a distance. And when she saw him, he decides to give her this collage of the previous pictures that he took when they delivered the baby in the elevator. The collage has one photo of the mom and the baby, and there's like 4 photos of Ashley. Andre is being such a complete weirdo, and he doesn't respect the fact that Ashley has a boyfriend. And I don't know what his game plan is because he has this thing going with Danny. So it's just weird how he acts around Ashley. Not only that, the same pictures that he gifted Ashley, she didn't even know that he was taking these photos because he took these photos while she wasn't looking. So it's just weird. So Ashley is loving the collage and they're just there talking, and Andre says to her that you are probably one of the only person who doesn't have a bad side. And I'm just like, really, Andre? Didn't you say the same thing to Danny when you were standing inside of her house looking at her modeling pictures right before you went into her bed? You told her the same thing, that she is stunning, that she is beautiful and all these things, but now you're saying the same thing to Ashley. Andre is a little bit of a womanizer for me, and I don't like it. And thank God his little weirdo behavior was halted because right then when he was there talking to Ashley, Derek came in on a stretcher and he had an accident at a building where the ceiling fell down on him. So Derek is a firefighter. I'm not sure if I mentioned that before, but Derek is a firefighter, and they rush him in to get some scans done on him, and then the CT scan showed that he had a concussion, and he's just having a slight memory loss, but overall he is okay. Had Ashley with him the entire time, so Ashley's basically taking care of him, looking over him, and making sure that he is doing good. And he couldn't remember Ashley's name, but Ashley said to him that she's gonna make sure that she's there with him and remind him of whatever he's forgetting. But overall, he seems to be doing okay. So over to Martin and Smitty. They get into an argument because Martin found out from a source that Smitty is still asking about going back to work to be an investigative journalist, and Martin does not like that at all. And so he confronts Smitty and he asks him, he's like, do you take me for a fool? And just the way he spoke to Smitty, he treats him like a child, and he's so controlling and like he's so demeaning to his husband, and it's weird. And like for me, honestly, I feel like Smitty is going to go out there and he's going to find a man that treats him well, appreciates him, doesn't talk to him like that, and he going to cheat. He going to cheat on Martin because Martin is so rude to him, and the way that he speaks to him and just put down his dreams and his ideas is like dude, what are you doing? He wants Martin to just be at home, a stay-at-home dad and husband, and be a supporting partner for him. And it's like, nah, that's not how a marriage works. That's not how a relationship work. So Smitty had to remind him that their kids are basically old enough to take care of themselves, and like they're supposed to be a team. And right then and there, the kids walked in, and so we're introduced to Smitty and Martin's two children, Samantha and Tyrell. So they walked in and they were asking like what's going on, like why are their parents fighting? And after Smitty tells them what the issue is, Samantha is like, that's it? That's not even interesting. Like, I thought it was something more serious. Even Tyrell said the same thing. He's like, it's not that serious, because they explained that Smitty wants to go back to work and Martin doesn't want him to go back to work. And so Tyrell is saying to Martin that he's always worrying about too much, like things that don't matter. And Martin is not thrilled that his children are basically taking up for Smitty and reprimanding him. And he explained to them that, we're not like a normal family. And Samantha had to say to him, yeah, I'm aware that we're not a normal family. Like, my friends have two mom. I have a friend that has a single mom. So perception is basically, you don't need to worry about what other people think about our family. Like, this is our family. That's basically what his kids are trying to tell him. And it's so interesting to see how mature their kids are and how they're able to understand certain things and be mature about a conversation such as this, whereas Martin is just basically ready to shut them down anytime a hard conversation comes up. Tyrell even explained to Martin that, Smitty deserves to have his own career because Martin goes out and have his own career, and Smitty is still always able to be there for them when it comes to their schooling and anything like that. He even tells Martin that, Smitty is there for us more than you are because you're always working, and it's still not a problem because we understand that you have to work, and we understand that when you are able to be at some of our games or speeches or debate or whatever, you are there. But he also deserves to have his own life. And again, it is so interesting to see how their kids are so mature in their thinking and their thought process when it comes to their parents. So Martin, seeing that he is up against three people, so it's 3 against 1, he reluctantly agreed for Smitty to take on one assignment and to see how it goes. And again, it's like, what do you mean you're allowing him to take on one assignment? Like, he's a grown man. If he wants to work or take on more assignments, he should be able to do so. But Martin says that he will see how it goes. And Martin lets them know that they are very important to him. They overall had a resolution. Martin and Smitty end up sharing a kiss. And this is huge for daytime television, as it is so good to show the diversity on the show of a Black queer congressman with 2 children who is in an interracial marriage. That, to me, is DEI at its finest. Sorry, Orange Man. Like, Beyond the Gates is showing DEI, right? But it was so good to see how they're able to come to a resolution, even though, in my opinion, I feel like the resolution is short. It's going to be short-lived because I can tell that Smitty is the kind of guy, even though he's going into investigative journalism, he may cross over a line of investigating his own family and putting out a story against the Duprees, and Martin may not agree on that. So we will see if that happens, but I can tell like he's the kind of guy that will go dig like deep down for a story, and that story can cause hurt within his own family, and Martin is not gonna stick around for that. But it was good to see how their children are integrated into the show, how they interact on screen and all of that. So that was a really good representation. And yes, I am aware that this show is scripted, but just for daytime TV, for them showing that was major. So now we go over to Doug, who is stressing the heck out of me because I just know there's a beating coming for him. Like, I just know. So Doug surprises Vanessa over at the club, and he is flirting with Vanessa, kissing her, hugging on her, and she is just taken aback and surprised because Doug never does this to her. So she's like wondering what's getting him in such a good mood, but at the same time, she's kind of annoyed because she goes to the club dressed in her Pilates outfit, her pink Pilates outfit, looking very cute and sexy for her little boy toy, Diego. So she ain't trying to be here with Doug hugging up and kissing up and all of that. But Doug is in a good mood because his debts are paid and he is about to head back to the casino. So he's in a good mood. And speaking of the casino, we have a scene with Randy and Joey over at Orphe Jean's diner. And so they're sitting there talking about Doug, and Randy is asking Joey why he's so interested in Doug. And Joey's like, I'm not interested in him. I don't care about him. For that matter, he's literally just a means to an end. That's what Joey is saying to him. And so Randy is like, how is Joey able to read people so well? Like, he's so good at reading people. And Joey said to him, like, especially when it comes to gamblers, it's simple because they have one means, and that is to gamble. So he's able to read them pretty well and fulfill whatever demand they want. Joey tells Randy that he needs to stop caring about Dougie. So Joey calls Doug Dougie. And Randy was like, he doesn't like to be called Dougie because he was telling a story about when they were younger, and Joey stops him right there and said, listen, I don't care what he wants to be called. I don't care about him. Matter of fact, I don't care about y'all relationship. What I care about is what he can get me. So I don't give a shit what he wants to be called. I'm going to call him Doug. So Joey doesn't say what exactly he wants from Doug or why he's really interested in Doug. But for me, I think it has something to do with Doug being a heart surgeon. And that's probably going to come up later, what he really wants him for. And then Randy says that he didn't know that Doug's gambling would be this out of control. And Joey basically tells him, like, it's not your business. And Doug is who he is. And if Randy wants to really protect him, Randy needs to make sure that Doug is at the casino, because Randy asked Joey not to like hurt Doug, because he knows Doug is digging himself deeper into debt with Joey, and Joey might hurt him. So Randy ended up texting Doug telling him that he needs to meet him at the casino tonight, and that tonight might be his lucky night. And of course, Doug is there reading the texts with a big old grin on his face because he's excited to go over to the casino to go gamble money that he don't have. And so Randy ended up meeting Doug at the casino, and then Joey happily gives Doug more money to go gamble with the high rollers because Doug didn't have enough money. So he takes the money and he go and gamble, and he loses that hand. And he tries to leave, and Joey's like, no. I could give you more money to gamble because I feel like you're going to be able to pay it back in a shorter time than you expect. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy is so stupid. The man takes the money again and go gamble a second time. While Joey is looking at him like, look at this fool. Like, he don't even know the debt that he's getting himself into. And all Doug care about is just the gambling, the money and gambling. It doesn't even matter if he's losing, because if he did, he would have left. He would have said, I'm going to go home. I'm not going to borrow any more money. But nope. Doug took the money and he's sitting at the casino table, gambling all the money that he took a second time. So then after that, we go over to Eva. So Eva was helping Nicole with her speech for the award show coming up. And then right then, Andre showed up to meet with Nicole about the pictures. They wanted to go over the pictures for the show. And so Nicole left the table with Andre. And then Eva gets a call from Leslie wanting to know how it's going, what's going on. And so Eva is getting annoyed because she's like, why are you calling me while I'm at work? I'll talk to you when I get home. So Eva gets home now and she is telling Leslie about helping Nicole with her speech for the awards ceremony, and she goes on to tell her about how Nicole is basically helping her improve herself because she's letting her do more as her personal assistant. Leslie is not impressed. Leslie's looking at her like, girl, are you trying to forget what we're trying to do or why you're here? And you can just tell that Leslie has some kind of jealousy towards Eva because of the excitement in Eva's voice when she's talking about working with Nicole. So Leslie decides to burst Eva's bubble by telling her that she plans to expose Ted and Nicole at the gala. And Eva is not happy about this because she's like, whatever Ted did was on Ted. There's no need to ruin the award show because this is about Nicole. And so even that made Leslie even more upset because she's like, what do you mean there's no reason to expose her? She's a part of the problem just as he is. And so Eva disagree on that, but Eva disagree, and then Leslie is now questioning Eva's loyalty towards her and their plan. And so Eva is like, no, I'm still with the plan. I just don't feel like we need to do it so soon because I feel like it's going to be rushed and we shouldn't be doing that. And so she wants to prove her loyalty towards Leslie. So she gives Leslie the straw from Ted with his DNA on it because Leslie wants to have a DNA test done so that she can embarrass Ted at the gala if he was to lie and say he never slept with her or Eva is not his daughter. So Eva gives her the straw, and she says to Leslie that even though we have this DNA, we won't get a DNA test in time to have anything exposed. So we should not rush. So Eva asked Leslie to hold off and not do anything at the gala. And Leslie says, okay, cool. So Eva goes to bed now, and Leslie takes up the phone and make a mysterious call and said to someone, I need you to do me a favor. And she's holding up the straw in the bag and looking at it. So she's basically going to go behind Eva's back to get the DNA test done and have it rush so that she can still go ahead with the plan of exposing the Richardson at the gala. And I feel like that's going to backfire because I feel like that DNA test is going to come back and say that Eva is not a Richardson and Ted is not the daddy. And that's going to even be worse because she's built Eva up all over the years, letting her think that Ted is her father and she's a part of the Richardson. And then now if the test comes back and say otherwise, then that's going to be a double whammy because not only is she going to not be a Richardson, but you also are going to have Leslie betraying Eva, and it's going to be a Yes. So after that, we go back over to Martin and Smitty, and Martin continues to have nightmares, and Smitty and the kids are woken up by his scream because he's having this terrible nightmare and he's screaming. And so they ran downstairs to see what was happening, and Martin like jumps up out of his sleep with this terrified look on his face, and Smitty lets the kids know that everything is okay, y'all can go back to bed. And he goes over to talk to Martin, and he says to Martin like, hey, you're okay, you're home, you're safe, you're fine. And then Martin is like, I just want to make sure that I check the locks and that my family is safe. And Smitty's telling him that, hey, your family is safe, we're all here, everyone is fine. And so Martin basically is like, okay, everything is good. But then he has this terrified look on his face. And that is where the episode ended. So I think we're getting closer to finding out what this nightmare is about and why he's so scared whenever he has this one nightmare. And there was a filler scene with Vanessa and Diego at the clubhouse. So Diego is feeling himself, and he goes up to Vanessa because Vanessa was talking to another trainer. She's flirting with another trainer. And so he goes up to her and say to her, how many men does it take to satisfy you? Vanessa slapped the shit out of him because how dare you? Who do you think you are coming up to a woman, a married woman at that, asking them kind of question? And so she basically tells him like, you don't owe me, I don't want anything serious with you, you have no hold over me, so don't you ever think that you can be so rude to me, because who do you think you are? Overall, the episode was good. I would also rate this episode a 7 because, again, I don't know, like I find the scenes between Vanessa trying to throw herself at this guy at the gym to be unnecessary. I think they could have written her to be more self-aware and think highly of herself, not the typical blonde who have this husband who doesn't give them any attention, and they feel that they need to go find some next guy or a younger guy to make them feel better about themselves. Like, nah, I don't really care for that kind of narrative. Overall, it was a 7. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like and share, and I'll see you guys in my next video.